If you run an HVAC business, you probably lost $8,400 this month. And you didn't see it leave. Here's the math. The average HVAC shop fields somewhere between 200 and 250 phone calls a month. Industry data from Numa puts the average small business missed call rate at 22%. ServiceTitan benchmarks across thousands of HVAC shops put it closer to 32% during peak season. Either way, that's somewhere between 50 and 80 phone calls a month going to voicemail. Of those callers, about 60% are new prospects, not existing customers asking about an active ticket. And here's the brutal part. Research from Invoca shows that 85% of callers who hit voicemail never call back. They don't try again later. They don't leave a message. They dial the next HVAC company on Google. Run the math. Take 24 missed calls a month, middle of the road for a small shop. 60% are new prospects, so 14 of those calls would have turned into a booked appointment at a 28% close rate. That's roughly 4 jobs a month walking out the door. At a $1,200 average ticket, which is conservative once you factor in repairs that turn into replacements, that's $8,400 in revenue you never billed. But it's actually worse than that. Because that missed call wasn't just a service ticket. About 1 in 5 HVAC service calls reveals a system old enough to need replacement. A $5,000 to $15,000 install. So the real annual cost of a 22% miss rate, with downstream value included, lands closer to $250,000 a year for a mid-sized shop. This isn't a phone problem. It's a revenue problem. So here's the question. Where does that money actually go? And more importantly, what are the 3 things you can do this week to stop the bleed? Solution 1. Measure what you're actually losing before you spend $1 fixing it. Most HVAC owners I talk to have no idea what their real missed call rate is. They're guessing. They look at the day and say, "We were busy," and assume the calls came in. They don't. Pull your phone records for the last 30 days. Most VoIP systems, RingCentral, Dialpad, even Google Voice, will show you a missed call log. Add it up. Divide by total inbound calls. That's your missed call rate. If you're using call tracking like CallRail or call tracking metrics, even better, you'll see source attribution too. Then look at after hours specifically. Industry data says 35 to 40% of home service leads come in after business hours. Most shops cover 0% of that window. If you're hearing "we couldn't reach them" from your CSR the next morning, that 40% is where it's hiding. Do this exercise once. Write the number down. Tape it to your office wall. You can't fix a leak you've never measured. Solution 2. Install a 60-second missed call text back. This is the cheapest fix in the entire home services playbook, and almost nobody does it. Here's how it works. When a call comes in and goes unanswered, busy line, after hours, whatever, within 60 seconds, an automated text message goes to that caller's number. Something like, "Hi, this is your shop. We missed your call but we want the job. Reply with the issue and we'll get a tech out today." That's it. No fancy AI, no human required. The math on this is wild. MIT research, published through Harvard Business Review back in 2011 and still the gold standard, found that responding to a lead within 5 minutes makes you 100 times more likely to make contact than waiting 30 minutes. And 21 times more likely to actually qualify the lead. You can build this with Twilio for around $50 a month. Or if you want a no-code version, tools like Callback HVAC and several others will plug into your existing phone number for $100 to $200 a month. And if you want to skip the do-it-yourself route entirely, there's a tool called Maya at heatbooker.com that goes further. It doesn't just text back, it actually qualifies the lead and books the appointment, 24/7. Worth a look if your time is the bottleneck. Solution 3. Cover the after-hours dead zone. This is where the biggest chunk of money is hiding. I said earlier that 35 to 40% of home service leads arrive outside business hours. Now think about your competitor's voicemail versus their AI receptionist. Same call. Yours goes to a chirpy, leave a message at the tone. Theirs picks up in 2 seconds, says the company name, asks what's wrong, and gets the address. Who do you think books that emergency at 11 p.m. on a Tuesday in July? You have 3 options here. Option A real human answering service. About $300 to $800 a month, varies wildly in quality. Option B. An AI receptionist tuned for HVAC. Vendors like OnCrew, ServiceAnswer, Frontline HQ, Flow System all do this. Anywhere from $49 to $350 a month, depending on call volume. Option C. Rotate on-call duty with your senior techs and pay them for the answer. There is no wrong answer. There is only one wrong answer, which is the one most shops pick. Do nothing and hope. Quick recap. 3 things to do this week. 1. Measure your actual missed call rate. Pull last 30 days. Write down the number. 2. Install a 60-second text back. Twilio plus a 30-line automation, or any of the off-the-shelf tools. This single move recovers the largest dollar amount for the smallest investment in this entire video. 3. Cover after hours. Pick one of human, AI, or on-call rotation. Just pick one. If you only do solution 2 this week, you'll recover most of that $8,400. Not all of it. Most of it. I want to know, and the comments below are exactly the place for this. What does your shop miss most? Daytime calls when every tech is in the field? Or after-hours emergencies you don't even know happened? Drop it in the comments. I'll read every one. This is Margin and Wrench. New playbook every day. Hit subscribe if you want tomorrow's.